This is my Poecilotheria striata, my soar ornamental, the only pokey that I own. And this one does not like to eat on camera. I've gotten it to eat on camera before, but not as often as I would like. Pokies don't really like, well, most tarantulas don't like light. But some hate light more than others, and pokies are one of the ones that hate light more than others. Sorry, I'm having to keep one eye on the pokey and the other eye on getting the cricket out of the enclosure. Pokies are very fast. So, sorry it's taking me a minute. I've gotten it to eat on camera, I think, once or twice, but most of the time it really doesn't prefer to eat on camera. I've noticed that the older this tarantula is getting, the more arboreal it is becoming. Pokies tend to start off being did he grab it? Let's put the lid on it and check on the other side. Nope. Didn't grab it, but will later, I'm sure. When it does hide in its cave, there it is right there. But here lately, I've been finding it more on the sides of the enclosure. So I'm about to actually turn this enclosure into more of an arboreal enclosure, since it is starting to become more arboreal. But right now, it's more of a terrestrial, but I'm going to change that really soon. Okay, guys. The next tea we have to feed is the Salmopoeus armenia, Venezuelan sun tiger. Okay, can already tell this one's eager. Yeah, as I said, that one's eager. It's kind of a black blur, but she got it. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed. Just a black blur, pretty much. Isn't she a beauty? From what little we could see of her with all the webbing inside. But yes, she is a beauty. Next up, how about we do the infamous Tarantula murinus, the orange baboon tarantula. Last time I offered this one food, it did not take. It just struck at the prey item, but I don't think it's ready to molt. It's too soon for that. I think it just didn't want to eat. So, come on now. Okay, the tea struck at the tongs, so pretty sure it's in a threat posture right now. Oh, it got it. Well, you saw a leg. That's the way it goes sometimes with these. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Ah, yes. The recently molted Brachypalma vagans. This one will be ready to eat. Very skittish, like most brackies. Well, like most Brachypalma vagans, I mean. I'm going to give this one a super worm. That's my girl. Brachypalma vagans, Mexican red rump. Look at that girl. She's huge. Oh yeah, she's happy. She was hungry because she was in pre-molt for a while, and so obviously I wasn't feeding her then. So oh, look at that, velvet black. Wow, she's a big girl. I bought her at 2.5 inches last summer, I believe. So it's been about a year. So she's got to be like 3.5 now. Here's a food bolus. Okay. What's left of the last Mr. Cricket. Okay. Well, there you go. Brachypalma vagans. Leave her alone to eat in peace. I bet you can guess which tarantula this is. This is my favorite, Dermatopalma cyanopubescens, green bottle blue. Definitely one of my best eaters. And hopefully I'm going to prove that to you in just a minute. I hate crickets. I think I should start getting roaches. They're easier to catch. Tong fed. No problem. As usual, this one had no problem accepting food. Isn't that a cool looking tea? I mean, you really cannot get much prettier than this. Check that beauty out. Unfortunately, this may be a suspect male, but I think with the next molt, I'll be able to tell for sure. If you want a tea that looks beautiful, eats like a pig, webs like crazy, easy to take care of, this is your tea right here. Also a little pretty affordable too. Thankfully, these teas are not hard to come by, which is why they are quite affordable. I'm trying to get the lighting just right to give this tea justice. But that's kind of hard to do. Oh, that's a little better. Some of my most beautiful photographs that I've taken of my teas definitely would be of this one. Doesn't it look like with the 8 eyes there, that it's just one big eye staring up at you? There's 8 little eyes there, but it looks like one big one. Look at the blue. I'm so glad that this one is already showing the adult coloration. Yep. Hear a little crunching. This tea is semi-arboreal. This is also a very good display tea. This is the kind of tea that, this tea doesn't really burrow. It doesn't even hide in a cave. I mean, it just sits on top of the webbing in plain view. That's another reason why you need to get this tea. Great display tarantula right here. Certainly worth looking at for sure. I enjoy watching them web, like what he's doing right now. When they have prey in their mouth parts, fangs, they usually web right before they start feasting to keep would-be predators at bay, so that they can feast in peace. And certainly it decreases the chances of the prey item escaping if it isn't harmed enough. I'm sorry we're watching this one a little bit too long, but this one's worth watching. Alright, we'll go ahead and let this one eat in peace. Sorry. Okay. Put you over here in the dark so you can enjoy that. Alright, next up is my Grammostola rosea. Chilean rose. Just started to eat again recently. Most of the time this one allows me to hold her. Sometimes she's in a, she'll get in a mood where she's like, get away from me. But thankfully most of the time she's cool. Isn't she beautiful? She's the normal color form. So we'll see if she is still willing to eat. That was a big cricket. Probably my largest one. Well, you enjoy that. Yeah, her fasting period's over because the last 3 feedings she's taken it. Her fasting period lasted about a month, maybe even a little longer. A month to a month and a half, I think. These teas like it dry. The only thing you need to do, this is probably the most easiest teas to keep, is just fill up your water dish and you're good. They like it dry. Isn't she cute? She was my first tea. Like a lot of tea owners. She hasn't let me down. I mean, yeah, she gets kind of boring when she's going through her fasting periods, but she lets me hold her. She's really cool with it too. Most of the time. But I'll usually test her mood first before I even consider picking her up. I'll usually nudge her abdomen, and if she, then she'll let me know whether she's in the mood. Next up we have the layer of my Ceratogyrus brachycephalus. You can kind of see her in there a little bit. She really webbed up her entrance there. And by the way, I did feed her off camera and she actually did eat. So she must not have been in pre-molt after all. She was just being picky as to when she wanted to take the food. Alright, what I'm going to do is just stick a superworm in the webbing there, and she can take it at her leisure. She gives threat postures without hesitation. So I don't disturb her. I'm actually just going to stick the worm in the webbing and she can get it when she feels like it. She hasn't moved at all yet. She may not get it until I leave her alone, but she has taken food. with me here before. So we'll just wait around a little bit and see if she'll take it. And the common name for this species is the greater horned baboon. It is an old world tarantula, and it will not hesitate to bite, and its venom is potent. So you do not want to be bitten by one of these. It's a tea that you need to respect. Now I'm just going to get this superworm substrate there. There we go. Most of the time she does stay in her cave, but sometimes she does venture out and hang out on the side of the enclosure or up there with the fake plant. Well, so far she's not giving any indication that she's interested. But I'm going to leave the worm there. She did eat a couple of crickets recently, so she may not be hungry yet, or she just may want to save it till I close it up and get the light out of her face. I don't think she's even moved. Nope, she hasn't even moved. Alright, we'll just leave this one as an update, and I'm sure she'll grab it later. Okay, set this down. Next up, we have a Brachypama smithi Mexican red knee, and this one did eat for me on camera last time, and that made me very, very happy. Isn't he or she gorgeous? Probably one of the most, if not the most popular tarantula in the hobby. Well, that's the second time she's eaten for me on camera, so that's great. I'm glad that she's starting to become less timid. I can tell she's going to be a great eater, he or she. Molted not too long ago. When I got he or she, her abdomen was mostly bald, so yeah, that indicated that she's indeed a hair flicker. For the most part, this is one of your most handleable tarantulas if you're into handling yours. They can be hair flicky, but other than that, they're mostly docile. Well, there she goes webbing, like we saw with some of the other feedings. Yes, that's my dog still snoring. We either hear my birds chirping or my dog snoring. Gorgeous tea. I'm so glad I got one of these. This is a fairly new tarantula for me. I was so sad when I was first looking for one of these. I saw how expensive they were. I'm like, oh man, there's no way I can afford one of these. But luckily I found a good deal with Kelly Swift. Plus the smaller you get them, the cheaper they are too. But yeah, this one's already like nearly 2 inches. So far it's molted once for me. Very easy to care for. Brackies are definitely my favorite because I like the bulkiness of them. They're terrestrial. They're good eaters. Some of them are quite docile. They're beautiful. This one will let me hold it without having any problem. There's only 3 teas in my collection of 20 that I hold fairly regularly. This one and my Brachypalma avopilosum and my Grammostola rosea. All the other ones I do not hold because they're too skittish or they're highly defensive. Or they have the voracious appetite. Or they attack anything that's moving. Isn't it cute? They're so cute when they're this small. I think they're cute any age. But I almost think they're the cutest when they're this size. About 2 inches. Will you enjoy your meal, sweetie? You deserve it. Have you noticed a trend that I tend to save the best for last? This is fruitcake, my Nandu chromatus. This one's probably my craziest tarantula. And we're going to see what she's going to do for us today. She's been in a cricket mood here lately, so I'm going to offer her a cricket. And see if we can get a pull attack. Surprisingly, the Nandu doesn't seem very interested. did I save you for the last for nothing? Is this the way we're going to end our feeding video? In a lame, boring way. Is that how it's going to be this time, sweetie? Okay, well. Alright. Maybe not too bad after all. Yeah, she got it. There's a big cricket too. She didn't care. Will you enjoy that? This is definitely one of my favorite teas. I love the skeletal markings on the legs and the red abdomen. And they're very skittish. Voracious appetite. They're crazy. Which is why I like this one so much. Alright, well, this concludes my feeding video, and I hope you enjoyed. We got some pretty good attacks and some not so good, but hey, at least we got a few. Got some updates anyway. Alright, thanks guys.